Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Friday, so grab everything red. Well, don't grab everything red, but grab something red because we remember everyone deployed on Fridays. My buddy Clint Westwood is going to join us on the other side of this. We've got all kinds of crazy things to talk about, pyramids and merit and moving the student loans into the SBA. How's that going to work out? Getting rid of the Department of Education, just so many things. So we'll join you on the other side and grab a drink, grab a buddy, jump in the live chat, give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you on the other side right after this. Hey, Westwood, it's been a day. Good to see you. Happy hour.
Yes, happy hour. Happy joy.
Happy joy. We had a chance to catch up a little bit last night on a little bit of Spaces. For anybody that was on Spaces last night, it was great to hear and talk to you guys. Last week I was in Canada at the Beyond Mystic conference, which was an amazing experience. I was super honored to be asked to be a part of that. They are doing a restream, and if you go to Bix's Twitter, you can use that link and get 30% off. So it's like $99, but you get 30% off, and you can get like Cliff High's message, Jay Widener, Andy Scheckman from Miles Franklin, of course, the one and only Bix Weir from Road to Ruta talks about the Golden Grand Canyon, like super exciting, and little old me.
And the lovely Litecoin Lisa.
Yes, so it's pretty exciting. And there's there's workshops on there, Ashala and Janine and Sylvie and a bunch of others. So it's just a really awesome package on there. So go to beyondmystic.net, but first do Bix's thing so you get the discount. I'm all about getting the good deal.
At Road to Ruta.
Yes. Definitely. So how are you doing?
A little shaggy.
I know. You're letting it.
I'm not going to take the hat off. Lisa got to see the clown hair before the show. I haven't had a haircut since the last meetup in October, so it's not good.
You're going meetup to meetup.
Yeah, I'll get cleaned up. It'll get hot out when I'm out mowing or something. I'll be like, this hair's got to go. Shave it off.
That's wild. I was noticing, I sent you a thing about Easter and how Easter is
Easter
is defined by the moon cycle, which is interesting because, you know, most Christians would fall out of their chair if they thought you were doing some witchy magic.
Lunar worship.
Lunar worship. Wait, you decide when Easter is by following the moon cycle? Isn't that?
You know what? I never knew that, and I never did look it up because it always changes. Easter is always on a different date. I mean, it's always at a different time, and it's like, what is that? So what did it come down to? It's the Easter is.
Let me pull up the article because it was really interesting. Hold on, where did I send that?
Star.
Because it's a pink moon this year, which of course, you know, I love all the pink things. No. Okay. It's later this year. I'll share this screen because it does have really great information. Due to the rare blood moon eclipse. Okay. That delays Easter in 2025. Okay. Oh, it's also the first time since 2017 that both the Christian Easter and the
Eastern Orthodox.
Yeah, are going to be on the same Sunday.
Now, didn't we have the big eclipse in 2017 and then the big eclipse last year in 2024, I guess. So I guess it wasn't this year. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Solar eclipse, I was thinking. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. Okay, so the reason is the combination of the moon's elliptical Easter egg shape of the sun and date are a rare blood moon total lunar eclipse, March 13th, 14th. This eclipse is visible, blah, blah, blah. The final full moon before the spring equinox, setting the stage for a later Easter by delaying the pink moon or paschal moon, the full moon used to calculate Easter's date. So if Easter being decided by the celestial mechanics surprised you, you're not alone. However, Christianity is one of the many religions that use the moon and sun to decide the dates of significant annual events. Chinese Lunar New Year, Ramadan, Passover are all tied to lunar or lunisolar calendar. So where was it that they had? Okay.
Yeah,
didn't they talk about how okay, so in Easter 2024, the long delay happens, blah, blah, blah. I think that's it. So they gave it.
So the definition of how we define when Easter is based on, say it again, the first full moon on or after the spring equinox, and then the Sunday after that.
Yes.
Not how it is.
I say it right. Let me find it. Because we use different calendars, the Gregorian. There was a great.
They had a little snippet there that kind of.
There was a snip that I took that.
A little J snippet.
No, not a J.
I'm like trying to scroll. I'm freaking. Come on, man. You ever do that? Like you have a book or something and you try and zoom in.
Hold on. Okay, Easter is later this year due to a rare blood moon total lunar eclipse, which affects the lunar calendar and impacts the timing of the holiday. So, was that what I was?
No, it's in there. It defines how to.
Yeah.
Don't make me search it up.
I know. Hold on.
Gonna bribe the dogs with some treats. She's already getting anxious and getting ready to bark. So.
Combinations of the moons.
I'm gonna search it up. I'm gonna go to the link you sent.
Help me because I'm
gonna race it up.
I had it where it was like.
Right. It's got a little. It tells you. Let me see.
The latest Sunday. The recent.
Okay, this year.
It said like it's always after, or maybe that was on a different tab that I pulled up. Maybe not this article. Okay, they're really simple. Here it is. The Easter always falls on the first Sunday after the full moon occurring on or after the spring equinox.
Yes. So basically you take the spring equinox, so it's sun and moon because the equinox is the sun. So we had that yesterday. That was the first day of spring. So the first full moon either on the equinox yesterday or going forward, whenever that's going to be, then once that full moon happens, it's the Sunday after that full moon. So it's a combination of the sun and the moon and where they're at. Interesting, huh?
So this year, the spring equinox is on March 21st. So the next full moon after the equinox is the pink moon, April 12th. So Easter will be on the following Sunday, April 20th.
420.
420. Another interesting thing is, oh, wow.
That's right in that sacrifice window too. You know, when you start looking at what do they call it? That's where a lot of people, where you get a lot of shoot ups and a lot of different things and that happen. It's like a sacrifice window up to May 1st, I think.
So Trump has been talking about how, all this stuff, not April 1st, but April 2nd is going to be Liberation Day for America. April 2nd, April 2nd.
April 2nd is going to be a big day. I think we got some people with birthdays on April 2nd. I won't shout them out, but I think we do in our community.
Interesting. So when I was at the event, a lot of, I talked about, how our old money system, our constitutional money, and how, oh gosh, I mean, I could go through my slides and do like the whole presentation, but it's.
Go to Road to Roo to get your discount and then watch it.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes long.
There you
Um,
go.
but and you guys all know this stuff, so how there was the gold and silver, and it was based on the Spanish amounts. But basically, they tricked us by having us put our energy into the money, our time, our energy, our value, and then they took away the gold and silver out of the money, and they made it just fiat, a promise, you know? And then not only that, but then they had us put the money in the bank and become shareholders of the bank, and then we were investors in the bank, and then if the bank fails, we get screwed.
You get bailed in, so they will
Yeah,
take your money before they take all the derivative money and all the BS, secondary,
it's
layers.
even worse than that. It's not even
Horrible.
our money anymore. Now we're supporting the banksters. Like,
Hmm.
it's just gone exponentially worse and worse. So, Trump on January 21st made this presidential action where he's ending the DEI and implementing, restoring merit-based opportunity. And so this is where, and okay, the timing of this was insane because uh, Jean-Claude and Janine did this, one of their news things, and he talks about current events, and she pulls cards,
Yeah.
and she pulled this card and did they were talking about the financial crash and whatever, and she pulled this tower card and said 5 days, weeks, months. And of course, I got my calendar out, and I'm like, when is this? And 5 weeks would be April like 21st, 22nd, which is when this restoring merit-based opportunity kicks in. So, because there's a 90-day window from January 21st. And so that to me is ending the reward without effort system, getting rid of the old system. They don't get to the Wall Street. Janet Pelosi doesn't get to, bet on Wall Street anymore and have her mansions and all that bullshit. While the little guy,
And our big refrigerator and freezer full of ice cream, bragging about it.
the little guy works his ass off for 35 years, 60 hours a day,
Right.
and put his money in the bank only to be bailing in some banksters. You know what I mean?
I know.
Or not able to buy 2 tomatoes or whatever. And so,
Or an egg trifecta.
yeah, or these, rich old boys club sending their kids to the right school so they can marry the whoever, getting all these benefits instead
Right.
of kids that are, uh, running the fastest and winning the race should get the,
Hmm.
reward and the scholarship, whatever. And so, this is restoring merit based. So what you put in the energy, and that's where so then my talk was, we don't need this third party that they benefit from it and they can skew the outcome and all that, is that we can exchange our energy peer to peer. And that's where Reggie's patents come in, all that kind of stuff, is that it creates free markets where we exchange with each other peer to peer, with our energy. And so we're able to retain our energy ourselves, keep our keys in our own possession, keep our assets in our own possession, our wealth in our own possession, and then exchange with each other peer to peer in free markets. So this whole merit based, well, then literally right before we went on live, what's his name? Who he was supposed to go to? Oh, did it not come through? He was supposed to be, was it Vivek? He ended up going to Ohio or somewhere.
I think he's going to run for governor of Ohio, isn't he?
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Okay. I don't know
And
if he declared or not.
so
Yeah.
he,
I do declare.
so Trump was talking about, he just moved the like basically dissolve the, what am I trying to say? Sorry, I'm scrolling and
That's all right.
looking. The Department of Education.
Mm.
And it was very interesting because he moved the student loans, which we know those back the U.S. debt.
Yeah, that's an asset for the government, the
Right.
U.S. government.
So he moved that into the
Slave labor from the people.
he moved it into the Small Business Administration. Well, that's what it should be. Like if you invested in yourself, if we're moving into a merit system, if you took out a loan on your own small business, that's fine. Then you can create your small business yourself, your entity with your IP that you retain, and but then you can pay that back on whatever business you create with yourself.
I'm gonna take it out of my Social Security fund. Can I just pay it off with this? Because I don't plan on getting it anyway. Here, just shift it.
Maybe that's how they're going to do it. I don't know.
I don't have any student loans, thank God.
Yeah, me either. I paid that stuff off as I went.
Mm-hmm.
I worked extra jobs. And then he also put the special needs and the health needs for children at school into the RFK is going to take care of that. So children will still
Okay.
have those resources, which I think
Shuffle it up. Okay.
cool. Yeah. And then there was, then Vivek, I just saw this and I swear I retweeted it, but I don't see it. Anyway, Vivek said something about merit and schools, that he was moving schools to a merit-based system in his state. So I'm seeing all this stuff about merit, and I worked my ass off on my speech, my presentation, and I was really proud of and then Penny Kelly was talking about merit and moving 4D to 5D, getting rid of money, that exchanging peer-to-peer and all this. And so it's like, it was just really exciting. And there's a thumbs up.
There's that thumbs up. Somebody's listening. Hey, even the YouTube moderators give a thumbs up to that.
I love it. Yeah. You guys give us a thumbs up and like and share the video. I appreciate all of you guys in the chat. Yeah. Thanks, Coffee and Socks. Yes. Ohio for governor. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah. I didn't know he announced yet, but I knew he
Yeah.
was
And he's talking about, so I really think
something about Ohio. I'm just saying, I don't know what it is. There's something going on in Ohio. I mean, that's where JD Vance came from. No, Vivek, and a lot of stuff happened in Ohio. You know, you got the train derailment and all that. And Les Wexner lives in Ohio. I don't know. Seems to be a hot state.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if this was used, now we're seeing, with the RFK or the JFK files, the Israel component, and that they could have been, or the narrative is with those files, at least the narrative is that they infiltrated the CIA and were part of, and of course we know about the Rumsfeld letter and JFK asking about Zionist involvement or them, declaring their Zionist loyalty, and Rumsfeld advising him not to ask for that or whatever.
Well, Donnie Rumsfeld. Yeah, there's a history with that guy.
The other thing was that we saw that they gave nuclear, that JFK did not want Israel to have nuclear weapons, and that they did give them nuclear weapons, that they were provided nuclear weapons.
Somebody gave it to them. I always wondered that. And it's like, okay, so why did they get it? I don't know.
Yeah, if we were protecting them, why did they need it?
Somebody needs to do some research on that. I don't know.
Doesn't make sense to me.
No. Dog.
There'll be none of that. The dog has an opinion.
I know. What do you think about that? Every dog has its day.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. Go. You want to smoke? You want a cigar? No. Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of wild.
Let me put her out real quick because I can't do this.
Okay. Yeah.
Come here.
So I'll say hi to the chat. I'm gonna run through the gang's all here. We got our friends. Oh, Crypto Experiences by St. Jerome let me know that there's 2 new states, Arizona and the great state of Oklahoma, who've joined the Goldback club that are sharing. Hey, Marky, Goldbacks now, trading in Goldbacks. So more and more states are doing that. Exciting to see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. St. Jerome, I'm going to see him Sunday at the coin show, and he always brings some gold backs. And I'll tell you, that's a big topic of conversation. The gold backs.
I
A lot of
like it.
people, a lot of people surprisingly have them, and so it's pretty cool. And surprisingly enough, I mean, you'll start talking to people about these things. Here I am, this voice from the wilderness coming out. Oh,
No,
here
I
I
can
am.
hear you really well.
So anyway, a lot of people will get into crypto conversations. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I got some crypto," and you never expect it, but there's a few people out there that have gotten into it. And coin shows are fun.
I have
Meet a
never
lot of different
been to
types.
a coin show. I'll
Oh,
have
it's
to.
fun. Yeah, you get to meet all kinds. I love
Yeah.
it when the kids come through. Once in a while you'll have like a dad and a son or something. And daughters even. They'll come through and they're looking and very. St. Jerome gives out little tokens, like little Bitcoin tokens and stuff. Little plastic tokens, and
He's such a great
starts the
teacher.
conversation. Yeah, absolutely. Still teaching.
Yeah, he is.
Teaching on Sunday even.
I love it. Somebody's got to be teaching on Sunday.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It's a good time. So Sunday. If you're anywhere near Springfield, Illinois, come see us at the coin show. I don't even know where it's at. It's by the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Somewhere. That's a pretty big show.
That is cool.
Yeah, I always pick up something for the girls. I always, that's like their savings account. Since they were born, I always put a little silver coin or something, and just stack it up for them, and that's the dowry, I guess. So I think it's a good thing. Money outside the system, baby.
I love it. I love it. Really good stuff. But please look into merit. So the other thing is when you get into looking into merit, if you look at the language, so one of the things, with my journey and kind of where I went, it leads you back to taking personal responsibility. And, we always tell our kids and whatever, if you want more freedom, then you take on more personal responsibility. Or, with great, what's the saying about like with great, dang it. I don't know what I'm thinking of. It's like it's a burden or whatever, but you get freedom.
With freedom comes great responsibility.
Yeah, something
Kind of like that. Yeah.
yeah. Or great reward or
Something
whatever.
like that. I don't know. Somebody in the chat help us. It's Friday. It's been a long week, and we're
Struggling.
brain's only half working here, and mine's only like a quarter working because I flooded it.
Yeah. We did spaces last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gas that out. But it is that thing of like you have to do the work. Because that was
Right.
one of the things that when JC.
That's it. JB, with great power comes great responsibility. Absolutely. Thank you, JB.
It. Yes. You have to, if you want the power, then you have to take on the responsibility. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to do the work to get the power, that's it.
By the power of Grayskull.
All the things.
Get struck by lightning if I do that. Not in a good way.
Apparently, a lot of great people have been struck by lightning. That was another thing. Somebody, I can't remember.
Did you have people there at the meetup that were struck by lightning and they got intuitive? And
I mean, I've heard that, and I can't remember.
I know somebody that happened to.
Isn't Jim Caviezel was struck by lightning?
I might have been. I'm not sure. It might have been on the set of making Last Temptation of Christ, or it was pretty
believe
close.
So. Literally, I think that happened.
You might have got energized.
Yeah, there's somebody else. There's like a couple people that's actually happened to. There was a story that I heard one time where it's like there's several people that's happened to. And anyway, I don't remember it. Right now I'm not
They
tracking on
took the plasma blast because that's kind of what I think it is. Lightning's just a plasma blast.
it. Yeah. That's what Jay Widener talked about was plasma.
Nice.
And then unfortunately, Jenny's intuitive. And so of course at the beginning of Jay Widener's talk, she's like, I know every time he says the word plasma, we have to take a shot.
Oh, see, she's a great influence, that Jenny
Oh
Full
my
Moon
God.
Show.
So it's Bix and Amy, Andy and his wife, me and Jenny. And of course, Jay starts speaking, and we all have to take a drink every time. Oh my Lord. And we're all just like, yeah.
It was a wreck.
Yes.
Plasma everywhere.
We all finished our drink very quickly. I was like,
Lisa said I shouldn't have ordered a double.
I didn't. I always get talls when I'm out in public for that reason.
Yeah, because
I want to, drink responsibly.
I haven't learned that. See, I'm just like, hey, Benny, the last meetup, you need another drink? He's just feeding me, and here I am. I'm just like a freaking camel in the desert, coming up on some water.
No, when I'm in public, I get a single tall. So it lasts a long time, and I don't get hammered.
I got issues to work out with myself.
But I'm also like a 5'2" girl.
Right.
Like you can have a lot more alcohol.
As wide as I am tall sometimes. I don't know.
Especially if you lay down.
Yes, if I lie down on the floor and the dog's in here, I'm gonna get humped. So I'm not gonna do that today.
Don't do that. Yeah,
that would be bad.
That would be bad. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I was telling them about Westwoods and encouraging everybody to join us and all that. So
yes, the meetup, I've got it on the website now. And you go to clintwestwood.net and you go to the top. It's a very basic website. It's just black and white kind of. Anyway, so you click on the top.
Just information. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all content. No ads running and clicking pop-ups and you got to X out of and all that crap. No, it's just go to clintwestwood.net. Now I've got a big link at the top that's got all the details in June. I think it's June 20th. It's right around the summer solstice. So that should be interesting. I think that might be the summer solstice. Yeah, Friday night in the bar, baby. The big carnival across the street and all the wonderful people that might show up.
It's always a good time.
Beautiful people.
That dirty little old man that chased all the pretty girls around last year.
What was his name? Uncle Rick. He called himself Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
J-Mac and him, they were having quite the conversation. You never know.
There was another really interesting I wanted to share. There was another, we have this tendency to create heroes in America, maybe specifically. I don't know, maybe not specifically. Maybe that's just a human thing. But I guess it is just a human thing because I don't know why we do this. And we don't think we think of ourselves as less and we lift other people up. But maybe I should share that other picture first. And I don't know that I have that other picture first. There's a picture of LBJ winking at this other man across from Jackie when he's being sworn in. And they're
Jackie
and smiling. And like supposedly JFK has just been shot. She has blood on her, all this, and they're winking and smiling. And I don't know that we'll ever know what really went on.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what, if I get in that chamber in that pyramid, I'm gonna find out those frequencies. I'm gonna tap into them. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna learn it up.
We'll talk about that next.
Right.
But I want everyone to listen to this. And now we know, or we have been told that, that JFK was having an affair with Marilyn. A lot of people think it was with JFK's brother. There's rumors surrounding all of it. But this is a really bizarre exchange between two adults. And I know elites have like different rules and stuff, but I can't imagine this discussion happening.
Hello?
Hello?
Jackie?
Mr. President?
I love you.
Aren't you sweet? Where are you?
You just skipped away from this town. I ought to have had you arrested.
But I was so mad at myself.
Yeah, well, you ought to be mad. You almost made me mad at you leaving without coming by and hugging me and telling me goodbye.
Yeah, but did you get my note?
Yes, I did. Then
I talked to ladies, but I felt so stupid.
Well, I miss you, and I'm thinking of you, and I know your Christmas won't be what it ought to be, but I wish that I could make it happier. When I got ready to go to home for my Christmas, the Congress just said they'd spank me and hit me right in the face and wouldn't let me go, and that's the way I want to do you next time if you don't tell me goodbye.
Oh, listen, as soon as you get back, I'll come and get a vitamin B shot from Dr. Travell.
Won't you do that?
Yeah.
Won't you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
Bye. Hello?
Thank you, and hit you right in the face.
President?
I love you.
They were going to spank me and hit me right in the face, and that's
What is happening?
I do to you. And then she says, well, I'll go to Dr. Travell and get a vitamin B shot and come see you.
Oh, that's some kind of weird code going on right
What
there.
are they talking about?
That's definitely talking in code.
And look how she's, and of course, this is in the 60s. So listen how she's all, oh, Mr.
When
President.
was that? Was that before well, LBJ was vice president or out? I would assume
No,
that.
he is president now.
That's after.
This is after.
That
Her
is so
husband
bizarre.
is dead, and now she's playing little Miss Kitten.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Wow, that's
Like, I can't imagine. To me, she would be his equal, and she wouldn't be playing little sex kitten to him.
that is so strange.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is. I never heard that. That's it. Kind of sounded like LBJ. Kind of sounds like a blend between a Thurand and Parker and Daddy
No,
O.
he sounds like a disgusting.
Well, I mean, he's a different kind of cat. I mean, he definitely liked to drop a lot of coprologies, maybe. Say that.
He sounds like an old, decrepit, disgusting pervert.
And then she's playing along. It's like, what is happening?
Lecherous pervert is what
Well, then she went and married that Aristotle Onassis with his big kind of nasty looking Greek ship magnate guy. I don't know. The whole thing's weird. I don't know what's going on.
I thought he was like the love of her life and a gentleman, though.
Maybe
like
I don't know the whole story. Again, I don't have the phone conversations. I'm just talking smack. I don't know. I got to get in the bottom of that pyramid and get the truth.
I don't know. It's just bizarre.
It is.
But you have to also go back to that time period, like where women weren't equals, and so she was she just playing the game?
Maybe.
You know what
it's hard to know. But she was a very educated person. I mean, she wasn't. It's not dumb.
But that's my point.
Lady. Right. She maybe was playing the game for whatever reason, knowing that, hey, maybe this guy killed my husband, and I might want to play along. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it is torrid.
I said maybe. I don't know.
I agree with you.
So
maybe.
Call
me maybe.
Got a hand in the pot.
Call me maybe. Yeah, maybe she was scared shitless, Marky. You're
exactly right. You never know.
Yeah, she just had her husband's.
Right, and then this guy, might have been involved in it at some level, and then the next thing you know, he's president.
He's calling her saying, "I should have slapped you in the."
Right, and then you got a bunch of people, that are dropping dead that were witnesses to the shooting, and you got to think, maybe I better play my cards.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry. I'll have
play stupid here.
Be and come let you smack my butt and whatever. I'm so sorry.
Get your hand off my assets.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Allie's too smart for me. I don't even know what that meant. B
is for black beauties. It's dexedrine. I don't know what that means either.
I got to search that up later to write it down. More searching. Oh, come on. Crock it up. Anyway. Yeah, the whole JFK thing is just, it's nuts.
Well, but it's not as nuts as what was. It's a lot of noise too, because first of all, I don't think he's dead. I keep seeing
I
videos
know
of
you show that video, and I'm like, come on. Then I look at him, and I'm kind of like, yeah, he does have kind of resemblance. Never know. But again, you got to realize the guy was born in what, 1917. I mean, he'd be really old dude at this point.
yeah, but Trump said everyone here is going to live to be 120.
Well, maybe he was in the pyramid. Maybe he got re-energized. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean,
Bunch of time traveling, mind traveling guys, and I don't know.
who's this? Who's this? You know, when Trump's saying everyone here is going to live to be 120, then who's this? Who's that?
Just some guy.
Just
Give me
some
big hugs. Look at it. Trump
some
usually
guy.
doesn't like embrace like that. Usually he's kind
No,
of
no, he's a germaphobe.
right. But give hugs like that, he's not one to do that. He's cordial, and but to give the big hug, I mean, usually you don't see him doing that. So that's interesting. Who knows? I mean, things are weird. Timelines. Ugh.
Well, and here is what is coming out this is FBI. It's the vault.fbi.gov. Came out the same day at the same time. So also like all the time, look here, don't look there, all this stuff. And of course, use every opportunity to share whatever information. But this is all about the Temple of Set. This is, and of course, it's all, they said, oh, we're not going to redact the JFK stuff and all this. Well, this has got redactions all over it.
Right.
It's talking about the United States Army community at the Presidio, San Francisco. This is about children. It's about MK Ultra. It's that Michael Aquino.
Oh yeah, who was a Satanist, right?
Yes.
Overt Satanist. Didn't care.
God of the independent psyche. Do you remember all the stuff about Obama moving the mummies around and all that weird stuff?
Michelle getting $16,000 a month for the last 16 years or whatever it was. You see that? Michelle, Michael. I don't know. What did Obama call her? Michael, Michelle? I couldn't remember.
I don't remember. Mike. Michael. This is all approximately 100 children interviewed.
Barack Hussein, Obama.
The Temple of Set.
Satoru. It's some weird stuff. I mean, it really is. I think a lot of what we have going on is definitely scientific engineering. The more I kind of look into this stuff, and of course, the money creates all that. MK Ultra is probably bigger than that's just the superficial scratching of the layer. It goes much deeper, many levels deep, down to the inferno.
But this is talking about that the Army was involved in this.
Of course. Because, I mean, what better place to have a bunch of guinea pigs? I mean, honestly, hey, follow orders. Okay. Our government wouldn't screw you over. They wouldn't do anything bad to you. Tuskegee, Alabama. They would never do that. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your service.
Anyway.
Vampires.
It talks about children. It talks about MK Ultra. It talks about these satanic cult stuff. And no. I mean, and it's all they're like, well, we disclosed it once again.
It's out there. We warned you. We told you, and so now we're going to continue doing it because we put you on notice, and you didn't have time to read 80,000 pages, so but it was out there. So we're absolved from our sins. It's like the chicken thing. It's like, project everything onto the chicken and kill the chicken. All my sins are, oh boy. Much more powerful if it's a human being, I guess.
Mhm.
What's going on? Hey, Trini, what's going on, brother? Been a while.
Anyway, that's something I'd recommend everybody look into. Skullcap and his friend Corey are gonna talk about it, and
Good. I can't be in that conversation because I just sit back and like,
that's where I told him, I was like, "It's a little dark for me."
like, huh?
They know. I was like, "All I know is I found that, and you guys need to talk about it." I
Too
don't.
much of an erudite conversation for me. I
Mhm.
just got to hang out at the bar and just spill my drinks and spill all kinds of BS.
Look for the lighthouse. I'll be over here looking for the lighthouse.
I'm looking for the lighthouse, baby. Where's that light? Where's that LITE? Right
Yeah.
there. There it is. Call
Yeah.
those boats home. I'm just a wandering boat. That's all I am. I just want to be called home.
Yeah.
All y'all out there, come on, let's find that lighthouse.
There's so many stories talking about failure to deliver on silver through the LBMA.
Yeah, gold and
And
silver.
the
I mean,
gold stuff is crazy.
I know.
The gold stories about, and I'm watching Danielle Camboni having all these guys on, everybody from, the Jekyll Island, G. Edward Griffin to,
We saw him in Arizona one time. Now, a guy that looked just like him, I thought, but no, it wasn't.
well, we did meet him at the Silver Symposium.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did. I wasn't there. Thoran was there. You were there. I mean,
I-
interesting guy.
Yeah. And then she had the Monaco. Oh, dear Lord in heaven.
Was it Monaco 64 or something
Yeah,
like
he
that?
was on. They're all saying the same thing, that they're going. Well, they're all saying mostly the same thing, but maybe a little different ways. Everybody's got their own idea.
Just
But
like Bix has a different way to say Nacera, he just says it
the
differently. It's just
same,
different language,
different way of doing it. Yeah, but basically they're saying it's a great way to get rid of the they're either gonna there's all these gold deliveries coming into the US, and so they're going to audit the whatever gold or whatever, but it's
Right.
about that doesn't even matter. Yeah, the gold might be there, but who owns the gold?
Right, exactly. It's just like all these warehouses, and that's what they do on all these paper markets. It's like it's in JP Morgan's vault. Oh, it's in Bank of America. It's in this vault, that vault. And it's like, but who really has the right to it?
Right.
I mean, who's really got the contract that rock solid
go
holds
away.
it?
It's my understanding all those paper gets destroyed.
That's what should happen. I mean, it's just like, hey, let's have a jubilee, baby.
Right. But then that really doesn't help the people that are, I mean, I guess the people that physically hold it, it might go up a little bit because it's already at 3,000 or whatever
Right.
it's at. So it gets revalued. That helps the government because the government has gold on its books at $42. So whatever it gets revalued at, yeah, that's going to destroy the deficit because the gold, but Monaco is explaining because they have it at $42, they're going to have to rebuy it to secure that dollar amount and to take possession of it, to make the transaction happen. And that's what will destroy those, the paper. The transaction will have to happen. And that will bust the derivative paper transactions.
Gosh, everything's so derivatized. I mean, it really is. Did you see
Yeah.
the big thing going viral now? It's what the Vino mom, whatever she is, she's kind of making her rounds as far as how.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so basically, you got all these venture capitalists out there that are destroying legitimate businesses by robbing them on the backside. So there's shells of companies that are out there selling stuff, and I don't even know the names of some of these companies, but they've completely gutted it on the back end. And I mean, these companies, think of Sears, what happened there in Kmart. They had a lot of real estate. And so these venture capitalists come in and they take it over and basically sell off all the real estate, pay themselves, and then, bankrupt the store, and then they shut it down. But then they got all the freaking land, that all these things were sitting on. And it's just like they're hollowing these companies out from the backside. And, it's just not a good thing. But it's all fake money. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They leverage, these money printers, and go in and buy this stuff, you know, and get real assets, you know, and confiscate. It's just like the Great Depression, you know. It's like, oh, you can't pay your loan. Hell, you'll take your land. Yeah, it's fine. You know, and now you're destitute. And so I don't know. This is all got to change. But again, it comes back to the money. That's what ticks me off. You know, it's all about this fake money. And if you've got access to that flow of money, you get real assets, because that's really the end game, owning real stuff. Yeah, it's a side note, but
But that's where we all have to. That's the taking personal
that's
responsibility.
why you got to have your own stuff. And like you started the show to where it's like, you know, you can't get bailed in. You got money in the bank, you got a pension fund, you got this and that. You might take possession of it somehow. Buy some solar panels. You know, do something.
Have it in your possession, and that's the only way.
Buy some seeds, heirloom seeds. You know, put it on the window shelf and sprout it. You know, do something. Anyway.
Well, and educating yourself, you know, learning something new every day is a great way. You know, investing in yourself is a great way to, you know, grow that investment, that business, that small business. When I saw them moving the student loans into the Small Business Administration, I was like, yes, stop making people think that they can go to college and get this paper. Talk about derivatizing yourself.
Like a Wizard of Oz can give you a piece of paper. You know, and then you think about that, get your head around that and what that symbolism is.
Exactly. Yeah, you didn't get a brain because you went to college, guys.
And that was the smartest guy in the freaking show, the Scarecrow. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, you know, he had all kinds of good advice, you know, but he didn't have a brain. But then, you know, he got his honorary doctorate, whatever the frick it was. You know, at the end, he felt good about himself. And it's like, yeah, but you were fine before, and now you've got to go to the Emerald City with Millennium Greenbacks and all. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Self-validation is important. Community validation is important. Institutional validation, maybe not so much.
Not so much. It actually just ties you down. So invest in yourself, educate yourself, you know, do some research, search something up, ask a friend, spend some time reading a book, you know.
Imagine that.
Learn something. So that's where, you know, you are the investment, you are the wealth, and then the merit, the energy that you put out is, you know, because even when they created, if you go back to how they created the dollar constitutionally in 1792, or was it 72? 76? 17.
Way back then.
I don't know. I can't, I have to get my little speech.
All these dates and stuff. Come on.
Anyway, but when they created I think it was 1792, but they created the dollar, the constitutional dollar, they picked how much silver based on the Spanish amounts. But
the real.
Yeah, it was just to put a peg in it, to put a point somewhere. But then they said, okay, this is because we need to say this much.
We got to have an anchor. We talked about that last night. You got to have an anchor of some sort.
We have to have an anchor. But then they said, but then what are you putting into it? You're putting merit. You're putting, I grew this tomato. I spent this much time and this much labor and whatever. And I need to have that weight on think of a scale. That's how they weighed things. The silver was supposed to go on the other side of the scale. And then my work went on this side. Mm-hmm. That's where the value is. The merit.
Right.
Is this side of the scale.
Yeah, it's just like a little battery that captures that we're all accepting that, yes, this has value. So we're going to put the energy in hold
measure. The money is just the measure to be able to trade and barter. It is not the worth. And so that's where they tricked us. And then we fell for it for 100 too many years. And now we're getting out of it and we're taking our value back.
I've got a little envelope here somewhere in the magic drawer with cigars and all kinds of goodies. There it is. All right, so they gave us this. They're like, you don't need to carry around that silver. There's a silver certificate.
Yep.
And so you could, for a, dollar's worth of silver, which was defined, like you said, by like 0.78 something, whatever, so many grains of silver.
0.333.
A little over 3/4 an ounce of silver. Yeah, right. And so you could take this and get your silver. And then what did they do? They did this. They said, and notice it says United States of
Prime of
America.
18.
It says silver certificate at the top. Now look at your dollar bills now. You get this. It says, oh, Federal Reserve note. And guess what? You can't get silver for this. Well, you can, but you might get, at this point, at $34 an ounce. I mean, you get 1/34 of it, you know. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good trade. Yeah, Tatanka, good trade. No, not a good trade. And that's what they did. They slowly, since 1913 with the Federal Reserve, they, oh, hey, it's fine. We're still going to be on a silver and gold standard. You can redeem it. That $20 bill, you can go get them, your silver, your gold coin. That dollar bill, you can go get your silver. It's fine. And then they slowly, generationally, you forget, and then boom, let's screw them again. And then 1964, they take the silver out of the coinage, and then, basically nothing at that point. Then the gold window closes in 1971, August 15th, to where Nixon said, we're not even going to give you gold foreign countries anymore. F you. And now it's based on nothing. Full faith and credit of the U.S. corporation. Now, if you had taken...
Oh, but it's one step worse than that.
If you had held that silver, though, that dollar's worth of silver then, I mean, what's that worth now? Like $25, $30.
Well, and it's one step worse than that because you chose to put those paper dollars in the bank, you're now an investor in the bank.
You got casino chips in that casino.
And when they fail, they take your dollars to make their shareholders whole first.
Yes, the people that have made bad bets, derivatized it.
Yeah.
Layer 2 and 3 and 4'd it. And they get paid, and then you sorry about your luck, pal, in the words of Paulie P.
That's right.
So yeah, you got to hold that stuff in your possession. I mean, you've got to hold the real assets in your possession, not the derivatives of it. And it's just
well, and the same thing with crypto. There was a lady that asked a question at JC's. So we did a Q&A after I spoke. We came back after lunch, the next session, and it was me, Bix, and Andy. And a lady asked a question to Jean-Claude and said, you guys used to do like a 3 crypto or a pull or suggestion or card pull or something, and you guys don't do that anymore. Why don't you do that? And he's like, well, he's this very politically correct, long drawn out answer. And he's like, but I'll let the crypto girl answer, why don't you do that? And I said, well, because that's not doing your own work. There's no merit in that. I said, that's you asking them to do work for you. You have to do your own work. And of course they don't like that answer, but that's the thing. That's reward without effort. We can't, that's the lottery. That's a lottery ticket, that's looking for somebody that's being in crypto for a lottery ticket. And if you're in crypto for a lottery ticket, like that's not why we're here. We're here because
I knew there was a reason I didn't hang up the white paper from yesterday.
Yeah, there you go.
And there it is. I mean, this is what it is. A purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. And that is the Bitcoin white paper. That's the whole reason crypto was invented, so that you could smoothly, efficiently, with a finite asset, be able to send your energy digitally to another person outside of a bank, outside of a government, completely decentralized, running on its own independent computer network. My asset, here's your asset. I mean, it's just back and forth. I mean, that's it, and so that's the value of real crypto. So
if you're here for number grow up, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's not what we're here for.
Get your meme coins here. Get your meme coins here.
Yeah. You're on the wrong channel.
Get your Westwood tokens and your Litecoin Lisa tokens here. No, that's not how it works.
Better hold on to the rug, because
better be able to take that rug and fly with it.
Yes.
Make it fall off of it. So anyway, it's come a long way, and hopefully this all gets rectified. And But the thing is, even if it doesn't, you still have money outside the system. I mean, these solid cryptos, these proof of work cryptos. I mean, Dave was talking about last night. You can mine crypto. That's what it's all about. I mean, you can have a little worker bee, using energy and creating cryptocurrency, putting work into it, and then you have it, and then you can use that to buy a shot, whatever, have a cigar, buy a tomato, buy an egg, and nobody can stop you from doing that because it's all a figment of our imagination. What we give power to, the dollar is nothing but a magic trick at this point. It's not even a dollar; it's a note. I mean, and we give it value. Every time we pull it out of our pocket and use it, and it's just a big mass psychological, attachment that, I mean, we can do that with anything. Hugs. If I get paid for hugs, I'd be pretty good. But it's just, what are you giving your value to? What are you giving your energy to? What are you putting it into? What do you believe in? And that's really what it comes down to. It's your energy. It's your belief system. It's what you want to give your power to, because we are the energies. We are the pillars of power. And we've been deceived to kind of give it over to things that don't matter. And we got to stop doing that.
I agree completely. I loaded some more pictures from the event. Always looks like I'm in pain. I don't know why. I'm a terrible picture taker, but
I know you go to these events and man, I never take pictures, and I feel bad, because I'm like, I should have taken pictures and I didn't do it, because you're in the moment.
Yeah, we had a good time though. It was good stuff. I thought it was interesting that they're talking about this F-47, and he said it's been flying for 5 years.
The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation. There's no other nation. We know every other plane. I've seen every one of them, and it's not even close. This is a next level. Level 5 is good. This is level 6, they say. The F-47 is equipped with state-of-the-art stealth technology. It's virtually unseeable and unprecedented power. It's got the most power of any jet of its kind ever made. Maneuverability, likewise, there's never been anything like it, despite the power and speed. Its speed is top. So over 2, which is something that
And there's
you don't
that
hear very
LTCLisa.
often. America's enemies will never see it coming. Hopefully we won't have to use it for that purpose, but you have to have it. And if it ever happens, they won't know what the hell hit them. The F-47 will be the most advanced.
The F-47.
Wow.
And
It's been flying for 5 years. See,
5
they're
years.
always way ahead of the technology that we get. It's real. Think of what was it, the Blackbird, like 1967 or something. You see this sci-fi looking thing, stealth bomber, same thing. Thing's been flying around forever, and they're so far advanced. I mean, from what we understand, which is, dangerous. I mean, it depends who's pulling the levers. But amazing stuff out there.
Oh, this goes back to, you guys know I have been obsessed with the whole we're trapped in 4D. I believe time is a construct of the Khazarian, you know who, and I believe we're trapped in 4D, and I believe we're going to get out of that maybe with the plasma jump. And like, I think the money is how they trapped us in time. Like, if you think about our effort was put into our energy, or our matter that's how they trapped our effort in time. They got us tricked into working and putting our effort into labor. We clock in, we clock out.
Yeah.
That's how we we measure our effort in time and put it
miles per hour, all that.
Everything we measure everything in time, our effort in time. And now, like, there's this whole, I know I'm like obsessed with this whole time thing, but I think it's a thing.
Well, I think there's something to it, though. I mean, there definitely is. time is an overlay, kind of think about the daylight savings time thing. I mean,
Yes.
we spring forward and we fall back, and it's just, then it messes everybody up psychologically, and we're all disrupted from, the moon cycles, which, we talked about how Easter, how we define Easter, it's based on the sun and the moon, and those are the natural order of things, those things. But instead it's, well, it's, what time is it? Oh yeah, or look at my watch, and gotta be somewhere.
Yeah. Crypto experiences says drink every time you hear the word time. Yes.
I don't need any help. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they're saying that the physicists have a new phase of matter known as time crystals. And of course, it's the square, it's 4D, like it is the time.
It's the interstellar thing that I can't get my head around. I mean, it's just, I'm dyslexic and my brain damage is retarded, and I can't, like.
Did you go watch it again though?
I didn't watch it again. I'm still trying to absorb.
So I met Dorothy and her husband Roger from Pure Bulk, and they are the most wonderful couple. And I got stuck at the airport with them for like 5 hours, and we got to know each other a lot better. And he's all into the woo and all this. And then we were like talking about all this stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, send me all that. And so I was talking to him about like the Bitcoin address and the post office box and DNA being like an address.
Yeah.
And us being trapped in the black Saturn.
Terabytes of information, on your DNA. Harvard, I think, did a study on that.
In the 4D. And then, of course, they had heard Penny Kelly's talk and all that about moving from 4D to 5D and getting rid of money. And anyway, it was just very interesting. So
we are the money. And, I mean, that's why, listen, I live in Illinois. I live in Illinois, and, it's like, oh my gosh, I hate it. People call from work. They're like, oh, how's Chicago? I said, I don't know. I haven't been there in years, because they think I'm from Illinois. I got to be living in Chicago, right? It's like, no, I don't. And so, where I live is a whole different ballgame. I mean, different people. And that's why I still stay here, is because the people in the community around here are actually good people. And I mean, it's when you need something, they don't want money. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you help each other. And it's just, you got stored up value in yourself to where it's like, oh, hey, can you give me a hand with this? Okay. And then, oh, can you help me with this? You got this tool, you got this skill. And I mean, that's the money. I mean, that's it. It's that transfer of value at a level that you choose to interact. And it's, and I get it, because if you go somewhere else and need something that they have, you need something that is accepted rather than, hugs and handshakes. But that still matters. I mean, and if you can find those kind of communities to where it's not like you owe each other, it's like you feel like you want to help each other. And I don't know, the whole money thing is just a control mechanism. I mean, it really is.
I agree. That's why we should get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need it.
Nope. So we're going to talk pyramids or what?
I mean, we can. I just feel like you guys beat that.
We beat the hell out of it last night.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Maybe it's a distraction because, it's already been known that it's there, which, the research has been done, and now it's kind of, bubbling to the surface, so to speak. And no.
I think it's interesting that the SEC, they didn't drop the charges against Ripple. There's a lot of misinformation going around. They like lowered the fine or something, and but whatever, I guess they settled or whatever. So I think it's interesting to see all that, kind of the timing of all that right now, coming to a close with Ripple. I think it's more interesting that they're announcing that they have this storage, which I believe I'm not 100%, but I believe that Reggie's patents might cover some of that. Like, it's like the guy that has the patents is not invited to the conversation. So there's all these like crypto roundtable, crypto conferences. They're having these things happen. And I'm like, knock, knock. Have you guys considered inviting Reggie Middleton to?
Hey, there's a guy over here that might know a little something about this
Yeah,
stuff.
I do not understand why Reggie Middleton, who, called the Lehman collapse, like when it was the finance stuff, they acknowledged that, he knew what was going on, that, whatever. But now that it's validated that he has the patents and he has the knowledge,
Patents.
no one wants him to be at the table, and it's
Hey,
like,
we're playing this game over at our casino. You stay over there.
it's just really bizarre.
Well, I'm hopeful that all of this data that Cliff scraped, from the back in the day. I mean, here we are in spring, Bella the spring ball, the whole Litecoin thing, and then the Veritasium that he saw. How it would be valuable to governments. I hope we're in that timeline. You talk about timelines and how we're stuck and how they hijacked us, because you think of all the industry and all the things that were built, and then 1913 comes along and they divert all that energy and get us to buy into it. And then what do they do with it? Well, let's start some wars. Let's build a military industrial complex with it. Let's build destructive things rather than being creative.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like, I hold Veritasium because I believe in his patents and work. That doesn't mean I own his patents and work. I believe he should be paid for his work and his patents.
Good merit.
I hope to be able to use those tokens to be able to use his patents and work.
Something legitimate, a legitimate use case for something, as opposed to this, hijacked vampire picking winners and losers and good old boys club BS that they don't deserve because they don't do anything. They just, pull strings and manipulate and, use all these players that they pay money to, and, condos and islands, to compromise each other on the dark side of things, rather than, embracing the light and moving forward and elevating humanity. No, they want to vibrate at the lower levels and, compromise and, just get you stuck in the mud,
and abuse people. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and it's just, come on, let's get beyond this. It's just tiring at this point.
Yeah. Well, and the
one of the
taken has been, unbelievable. For
yeah,
sure.
one of the speaking of timelines, one of the influential thinkers. You think what you want of him. But back in 2003, I think it was, I read several of his books, David Icke, to where he has some interesting thoughts. And at the time, that was the first real moment where I understood that, hey, the banking system's really screwed up. He talks about a lot of other things too, but there was one instance where he talked about he had an ayahuasca journey. And the whole imagery of the thing resonates with me, to where he saw that humanity, there's this stream, we're supposed to be going down this stream of progress, going different places, this natural flow, this natural order. But what he saw in his journey was that, here we are going down this stream, but now for the last probably 100 years plus years, we're stuck in this whirlpool in the stream, and they've got us locked and hijacked in this whirlpool where we're just spinning around. We're not advancing. And, we're kind of being controlled in the river of life. And we're being stuck, maybe through the money, whatever it is, through psychological manipulation, in this whirlpool, in the stream of life. We got to break out of that. I mean, and that imagery is, I think, important, because I feel like that's where we're at. And, I think a lot of the little boats are starting to spin off, and hopefully it gets to the point where that whole thing just breaks apart and we can get back on that stream that we're supposed to be on, instead of being stuck in this just manipulated whirlpool. So
that would be good, because then hopefully that means growth, new ideas.
All right, see new things, and experience, and and just the natural order and how the river flows. And I mean, just I just feel like we're not in that. We're not. I don't know. we're captured in a certain sense, and
Yeah,
we got to
I
break
think a
free
lot
from
of
that.
people since COVID, I feel like a lot of people are just like in the survival mode kind of thing and not dreaming again, and that's what I
Yeah,
would love to see people start dreaming again and
right, right,
doing.
and elevate ourselves as humanity, and do great things because we're
Mhm.
capable of great things. I mean, hey, if you think you're created in the image of God, the universe, then we're kind of being shortchanged a little bit,
Yeah,
self-induced in a lot of ways. We got to stop doing that.
definitely. Um, do you want to talk about pyramids and the spiral things, or has everybody kind of done that, seen it? I don't know. If you guys don't know what we're talking, does everybody know what we're talking about? The pyramid things. Everybody saw it, knows it, smelled it. They found these pyramid towers. They have these spiral things, and
Minor emergency here. We can end it, or I can come back and talk about pyramids in like 2 minutes.
okay. Well, we can end it, and
Well,
we'll
it's up to
do
you. I just have to.
spaces later tonight.
Yeah, we can do
That
that.
work? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, you guys. I'm glad to be home, and we'll talk to you later on
All right,
spaces.
love you all. I'll be back in a little bit, Lisa. Just sit
Okay.
tight.
Westwood.net. And I hope you guys will all have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Westwood's got to go. Winnie's got to go. And just hang in there. I think everything's going to get so much brighter. We are moving into these, religious holidays and all that. So many things happen so quickly around that. Make sure you have your assets in your own possession, and that you're, doing all those things to think about the loved ones around you. And I'm grateful that you guys are all here in the family live chat. That's some of the best conversations and some of the greatest people I know in there. So we'll see you guys tonight on the spaces. Go to clintwestwood.net to follow us. You can always go to my website, likequeenlisa.net, and find more information about me and my other channels and how you can connect with me there. And you can send me a message there, as well as requesting me to come speak at an event that you're hosting. So take care.